Georgia's Supreme Court upheld the conviction of a Macon pastor convicted of killing a woman on his wedding day. Prosecutors say in June of 2015, William Pounds III shot and killed Kendra Jackson. That day, he was scheduled to marry another woman. Court records say he had long-term relationships with both women and had been engaged to both, sometimes at the same time. Pounds told different stories to investigators, saying Jackson committed suicide or was shot accidentally. In 2017, a Macon jury convicted him of malice murder. He appealed, saying there wasn't enough evidence to convict him, that the judge should not have allowed people to testify about things Jackson told them. Pounds also claimed his defense lawyer was ineffective. The state court this week unanimously rejected all of his arguments. Pounds is serving life without parole.
I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Pastor kills side chick on his wedding day. But before we get started, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Salute to the chat, salute Nola, salute to all of my moderators, salute to the replay gang. Let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is all for entertainment and educational purposes only. Salute positive vibes, salute positive vibes. Now, what is really going on here? Salute Miss Parker, salute Cotan. You have a man of a cloth, and this is why I always tell the ladies, y'all have to make better choices. And I know you would think that a man of God, you would think that a pastor is a good man to choose. However, in this case, both women knew about the other. Now, it's one thing if you don't know about another woman that this man has been seeing. And I believe that the relationships that he had with both was going on for over 10 years. And both women knew about it. But let's get into, first I want to get into the 911 call. I want to get into this 911 call that the pastor made. Here's the 911 calls, y'all.
Ma'am, my girlfriend is here, and she was trying to take the gun, and she shot herself in the head. I need an ambulance, please. I need somebody here. Please. I need somebody here.
Yes, sir. I can get the route for you, okay? But you just try to calm down for me. I got the wrong blood for you, okay?
Oh, Jesus. I need somebody here. 571 Bellmead Place.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Is this a house or an apartment?
This is a duplex. It's a duplex.
Okay. What is your telephone number just in case we get disconnected?
It's 4787. Jesus.
Sorry, next time it's not check in, okay? I just ask you some questions. How old is she?
She's 40. I'm 45. I'm 46. She's
okay. Is she away from you?
no, ma'am. She's not responding. She's not moving.
Okay. Is she breathing?
Let me look at her. Kendra. She's not breathing.
Okay.
She's not breathing. I'm trying to move her.
Okay.
She's not moving.
Okay. Okay. Well, I need to get right down there next to her, okay? Is she on her belly? Is she on her back?
She's on her stomach. I was trying to take the gun away from her. I'm going to take it. I'm going to try to do it. I'm a CPR instructor. I'm going to try to do CPR on her.
Okay, well, I need to get her flat on her back, but I need to keep breathing or not for her, okay?
I'm trying to do CPR. in the military. I'm trying to do CPR on her.
Okay.
CPR on her.
Okay. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3,
Yeah, I was trying to take it from her. 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 I was trying to take it from her, damn it. I was trying to take it from her. Damn it, Keisha, why you want to do this to me?
Sir, listen, I understand you're upset, okay, but let's keep doing CPR, okay? We're gonna do it 600
Man, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I ain't stopping.
Okay, well, keep going for me, okay? We're gonna do it 600 times until the agent take over, okay? Just count out loud with me. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
2, 3, 4. Keep counting with me. Sir, you still there? Sir? Sir? Hello?
I'm doing everything I can.
Okay, keep going for me, okay? Let's keep doing it so I can get there with her, okay?
I'm doing everything I can.
Okay, keep going for me. 1, 2,
Hello?
3, 4. Yes, sir, you're almost
Hello?
here, okay? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
So that's the 911 call, right? Ms. Parker says, don't use Jesus' name, sir. That's the 911 call. And I agree with you all the way, Ms. Parker. Y'all have to stop using the Lord's name in vain. And this is what's been wrong with our community for the longest time. See, we like to talk about those that's in the streets. You know, we quick to turn up on those that are in the streets. We quick to talk about how much those that are in the streets is bringing down our community. Well, what about those that aren't in the streets, such as this jackrabbit preacher? What about him? And I got news for y'all. He's not the only jackrabbit preacher. The majority of black preachers are full of shit. The majority of black preachers are full of shit. It's one thing to be having, you know, multiple women. All right. Temptation is an MFer. You know what I mean? And the flesh is weak. I can rock with that. However, you go to the extreme by taking the young lady's life. Positive Vibe says the pastor be the worst with the cheat. They be the worstest ones. And y'all black women want to take y'all money down to that church and give those jackrabbit black preachers all y'all money. Y'all black, and I hope some of y'all are watching, because it was some of females in my past. They passed up on old Shank Rock because they wanted to take their funky asses down there and follow behind the preacher. A couple of them left me for a jackrabbit preacher. And I told you and I told y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all again, everything that glitters ain't gold, or everything that shines. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all pass up on a lot of good men following behind those preachers. Y'all will give money. Some of y'all will give the majority of y'all paychecks to those funky black preachers, but won't give your man a dime, and always talk about what I look like giving you money, the same way you look like giving the Jackrabbit preacher. But I'm going to go to some more because we're going to get deeper. We're going to get deeper into this story, y'all. We're going to get deeper into this story. Just bear with me. We're going to get deeper into this story.
I'm trying to move.
Okay.
William Pounds was a well-known pastor at King's Chapel Memorial CME Church in Perry, Georgia. To his congregation, he appeared to be a man of faith, integrity, and leadership. But behind closed doors, he lived a life far removed from the moral teachings he preached. Pounds had been dating two women, Kendra Jackson and Vicinda Crawford, for nearly a decade, keeping them both in the dark about each other. Both women believed they were Pounds' one true love, and both had said yes to his marriage proposals. Kendra Jackson was a 46-year-old divorced mother of three who worked as a personal banker at the BB&T branch near Macon Mall. Known for her outgoing personality, Kendra was described by friends as classy yet sassy, a strong woman with a warm heart who balanced her family life and career with grace. She had been in an on-and-off relationship with Pounds for 15 years and had accepted his proposal, believing in their shared future. Behind closed doors, he lived a life far removed from the moral teachings he preached.
So she been with him for 15 years. This one been with him for 15 years.
Pounds had been dating two women, Kendra Jackson and Vicinda Crawford, for nearly a decade, keeping them both in the dark about each other. Both women believed they were Pounds' one true love, and both had said yes to his marriage proposals. Kendra Jackson was a 46-year-old divorced mother of three who worked as a personal banker at the BB&T branch near Macon Mall. Known for her outgoing personality, Kendra was described by friends as classy yet sassy, a strong woman with a warm heart who balanced her family life and career with grace. She had been in an on-and-off relationship with Pounds for 15 years and had accepted his proposal, believing in their shared future. Vicinda Crawford, a retired police officer from Atlanta, was another remarkable woman drawn into Pastor Pounds' web of lies. While details about Vicinda's personal life are limited, she was known to be a strong and independent woman who was also committed to Pastor Pounds. She too was unaware of his other ongoing relationship with another woman. Like Kendra, Vicinda believed she was his one true love and had said yes to his marriage proposal also, trusting that he was the man she would spend the rest of her life with. Welcome to Explore Crimes. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more videos. For years, Pastor Pounds juggled his relationships with Kendra and Vicinda, keeping them in the dark about each other. The truth came to light in May 2015 during National Pastor Appreciation Day, a church event meant to honor Pastor Pounds. Both Kendra and Vicinda, wanting to surprise their fiancé, showed up at the same time, each with gifts in hand. Their unexpected meeting turned into a moment of shock and betrayal as the two women realized they had been deceived. After the shocking discovery at the church, both women exchanged phone numbers, both needing answers. They started texting and calling each other, sharing their stories and trying to figure out just how deep Pastor Pounds' lies went. Through their conversations, they uncovered how he had been living a double life for years, making up excuses to keep them both in the dark.
So now they find out, right? Like I said, they find out. This one was with him for 15 years. She finds out. What's shocking is that after they find out, after each woman find out, they continue to deal with her. So you got to ask yourself, who's at fault here? Right, Miss Parker? Who's at fault here? Now, this one, she got it going on. She worked for a bank. She's described as being classy and sassy, but classy. You know, and from the picture, you know, she looks nice. And we all know when it comes to women, on a scale of 1 to 10, whether you a dime, you could be a 1. As a woman, it's not hard for you to get a man. Any woman can get a man. Now, what did he perform some kind of voodoo on them? Who knows? But keep that thought in your mind. Keep that thought in your mind. Was it some kind of voodoo? Was it kind of a spell that he cast on them? How could they both know about each other and continue to stay with this man? Let's finish. There's more. Let's finish.
Through their conversations, they uncovered how he had been living a double life for years, making up excuses to keep them both in the dark. At some point after discovering the truth, Kendra and Vasinda confronted Pastor Pounds, but it's not clear when or how this happened. More than likely, the confrontation was done quietly, as there's no indication that the congregation at King's Chapel Memorial CME Church became aware of his deceit. If the women had confronted him publicly or caused a scene at the church event, it's likely someone would have picked up on what was happening, and word would have spread. This raises another question. Had either woman been to the church before? If they had, why didn't any church members notice his double life? Perhaps Pastor Pounds was careful to keep his personal relationships separate from his church, or maybe he avoided introducing either woman to the congregation to prevent suspicion. Whatever the case, it's clear he went to great lengths to keep his secrets hidden. But Pastor Pounds, being the smooth manipulator he was, somehow managed to convince both Kendra and Vasinda that he had broken up with the other. He told them exactly what they wanted to hear, playing on their emotions and making them believe they were the only one he truly wanted to be with. Despite their initial anger and heartbreak, both women ended up believing his lies, allowing him to continue juggling the two relationships for a little while longer. Even though Kendra and Vasinda had each other's phone numbers, they didn't reach out to one another after Pastor Pounds told each of them he had ended things with the other. Maybe they didn't want to face the possibility that he was still lying to them. Believing his promises was easier than confronting the painful truth that they might still be sharing the man they both thought was theirs alone. Perhaps each woman hoped she was the one he truly loved and didn't want to risk shattering that illusion by hearing the truth from the other. In the end, their silence gave Pastor Pounds the space he needed to continue his manipulation. Even though Kendra was still engaged to Pastor Pounds after finding out about his relationship with Vasinda,
this is what's...
Y'all ladies gotta stop believing men when they tell y'all what y'all want to hear. That should be the first red flag. That should be the first red flag for any woman. If a man, if he's telling you, especially when you catch him cheating now, it's a different story if you don't catch him cheating. It's a different story if he ain't never cheated on you. It's a different story. If you catch him cheating, what they say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Ain't that right, Ms. Parker? Positive vibes. And the rest of y'all. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Now, if you catch him, and then naturally, he's going to tell you what you want to hear. Baby, you ain't been seeing so-and-so. No, baby, I love you too much to be seeing her, baby. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. Don't you believe him? He's only telling you what you want to hear. And see, for me, somebody told me this a long time ago. Somebody said, Shank, you got to tell them hoes what they want to hear. That's not my MO. That's not my get down. I ain't telling a hoe nothing that she want to hear to get the kitty cat. You understand? I ain't telling a hoe nothing that she want to hear to get the money. It got to come natural or I don't want that hoe. It got to come natural or I don't want that chick. Because one thing a woman will never be able to say about me, she'll never be able to say he's a liar. out of all the women that I dealt with, even down to the ones that don't like me no more, they'll never be able to tell you that I'm a liar. And that's what y'all got to look for when y'all choosing these men, ladies. If he lie about a small thing, you know he's going to lie about something that's major. Y'all have to go into relationships with a certain perspective. And this is why I go into relationships with a certain perspective, and not just only a relationship with a woman. I go into business relationships. I go into all kind of relationships with a perspective. I ain't going to give y'all that. But you got to have a different perspective. See, we've been taught and we've been programmed to believe in these fairy tales. And we've been taught and programmed to believe that we're going to fall in love, we're going to find Prince Charming, or we're going to find the woman of our dreams, and we're going to fall in love, have babies, and get married and live a happy ever life. That's not how this thing works. But let me finish up, and then I'm going to come back to y'all. I got one more clip that I want y'all to hear. Give me a minute.
In the end, their silence gave Pastor Pounds the space he needed to continue his manipulation. Even though Kendra was still engaged to Pastor Pounds after finding out about his relationship with Vasinda, things were not the same as they had been before. The trust she once had in him was gone, and she began to question everything he said. Kendra couldn't shake the feeling that he was still hiding things from her, and she started pushing for answers. Meanwhile, Pastor Pounds worked hard to keep her emotionally tied to him, while shifting his focus to Vasinda, who seemed more willing to forgive and believe his promises. He eventually set a wedding date for June 12, 2015, with Vasinda, but Kendra remained in his life, still wearing the engagement ring, yet deeply suspicious of his intentions. The strain of juggling both relationships and Kendra's growing doubts would soon lead to a breaking point and the tragedy that no one saw coming. The night before his wedding to Vasinda, Kendra showed up at Pastor Pounds' home. What happened next is shrouded in mystery, but by early the next morning, Pastor Pounds made a frantic call to 911. He claimed that Kendra had deleted herself after discovering his wedding plans with Vasinda Crawford. He claimed that, in a fit of anger after learning about his plans to marry Vasinda, Kendra grabbed his gun from the bedroom dresser and made a tragic decision. The injury was to her head. However, when investigators arrived at the scene, they found several things that didn't match his story. For one, the bed was neatly made, which seemed odd for such a traumatic situation. Further investigation found that there was no trace of gunpowder on Kendra's hands, which would have been expected if she had been the one holding the weapon. This raised further doubts about his account. To make matters worse, Pastor Pounds' story kept changing. First, he said he wasn't in the room when it happened. Then he later claimed they had struggled over the weapon. But his explanations didn't hold up under scrutiny. Investigators then noticed something even more concerning. There was more than one bullet hole. One was in the mattress, and the other was in Kendra. As detectives continued their investigation, they found even more troubling details. Pounds claimed he tried to give Kendra CPR, but his clothes were almost spotless. Given the amount of blood at the scene, this didn't seem right. Only a tiny trace of blood was found on his pants, which didn't match the kind of mess one would expect from a genuine CPR attempt in such a bloody setting. Another detail stood out as odd. Pounds claimed that Kendra had held the gun in her left hand, but her left palm was covered in blood, making it unlikely that she had been holding a gun at all. This, combined with the inconsistencies in Pounds' story and the lack of bullet casings, convinced investigators that Kendra's death was not a murder. In August 2015, Pounds was arrested and charged with Kendra's murder. His church community initially stood by him, raising $500,000 for his bond, but it wasn't long before Pounds violated his release conditions. This reckless behavior began to open the eyes of his supporters, many of whom had trusted him and believed in his innocence. For some, seeing him break the terms of his bond was a shocking betrayal. The case went to trial in October 2017, and it only took 4 days for the jury to reach a verdict. During the trial, prosecutors played the 911 call for the jury, who could hear Pound's shifting story firsthand. Pound sat hunched over his Bible, hands clenched and head down, as the recording played. The jury could clearly see the inconsistencies in his statements, and it didn't take long for them to conclude that his version of events didn't match the evidence.
He wasn't even a good liar. He wasn't even a good liar. Was he, Positive Eyes and Miss Parker? He wasn't even a good liar. Yeah. But you see, but to them, when he was lying to them, now, is it that they were just naive and they believed him? What was it? How could they believe this man after they already caught him? Now, let's look at what he told the police. He told the police she shot herself. But the police noticed there was the gunshots to her and also a gunshot in the mattress, right? They said that she used the left hand to shoot herself, but they found blood all over her left hand, right? Also, when they checked for gunpowder residue, there was no gunpowder residue on her. Okay, I tried to perform CPR. Now, if you tried to perform CPR, it would have been blood all over him. But as they said, the shirt had no blood on it at all. A little bit of blood on the pants, but just a tiny speck. So what the hell? How in the hell was he able to trick? How in the hell was he able to lie to these women? And then at trial, this is the cold piece about it. At trial, he's standing with his Bible. The Lord say, you can't have 1 foot in the church and 1 foot on the outside. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we make mistakes. I make my mistakes. So, hey, salute 80s, baby. I know we make our mistakes, but I say it all the time. A man of the cloth, if you are a man of the cloth, it's certain mistakes that you shouldn't be making. People come to me all the time. Shank, man, won't you be a preacher? Won't you be a pastor? Won't you be a minister? Won't you be a motivational speaker? Because I know the world that we live in, that's why I say we got to do better. The world that we live in, first thing I got to stop, salute Michelle, I got to stop using profanity. You know, I got to stop using profanity. Now, the thing with the cheating and all of that, I'm good on that. However, I know if I got in that position, if I became a pastor, I know if I became a preacher, I know the temptation is there. I know women would flock to me. Now, how would I do if I'm challenged with all these women throwing themselves on me? I can tell y'all one thing I know for sure. One thing I wouldn't have done, I wouldn't have took no woman's life behind me getting caught. I can tell y'all that much. I wouldn't have did that. Now, I'm going to keep it 100. I don't know if I would have cheated. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances. I mean, women throw themselves on me right now. But I know my mission. I know my mission is bigger than that. I see you roasting me, Positive Eyes, but my mission is bigger than that. You know, I'm into the business of saving people. You know, and as I said before, a man of the cloth. You got to do better. You got to know, damn, I got caught. Damn. I got to stand on my truth. I got to stand 10 toes down, and I got to take accountability. I can tell y'all one thing. If I did get caught cheating, I will confess to it. And I will give both of them an opportunity to stay or leave. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. For females, it's different compared to men. And I'm not justifying men. I'm not justifying men. But because for men, it's permissible for a man to have more than one wife, more than one woman. It's permissible. You know, I do believe God knew. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to be able to expect a man with all of these beautiful women out here. I mean, all the curves on their bodies and all this stuff that women got that attracts a man. It's nowhere in the world that I could expect a man to be faithful to one woman, although there are plenty of men that are faithful. Men are faithful. You know, let me jump to the chat because I know y'all roasting me. Positive Vibe says, we know because Miss Parker will definitely knock your head off. Positive Vibe says, Miss Parker, Shank likes reliving his young days. I ain't fooling with Positive Vibe. Miss Parker says, it's a different world we're living in, Shank. The church is where a lot of bad things really happen. And you're right. But you know what, Miss Parker? Bad things was always happening in the church. But many, many years ago, y'all got to remember, we didn't have social media. And many years ago, women, the majority of women depended on men. So women were scared. During those days, women were scared to come out. And, you know, especially like I was watching the Medea movie. What was it? The Family Reunion, and how the oldest daughter, oh, 80s baby down there roasting me. The oldest daughter, they were grown, but the oldest daughter, the mother, put her in the bathtub, got her smelling all good, and gave her to the youngest daughter, father, or the youngest daughter, father was going to leave. And they went, and it's a lot of stories. It's a lot of family stories like that. You know, the new man come in, one of the children or some of the children's that's daughters is not in, and you know, they up in age, they maybe 15, 16, you know, they got breasts, they got butts, and you know, he want that. And you know, the woman, because she's dependent on that man. And that's why, for me, I understand the whole independent movement that women created. I understand that. And I understand why women want their own money. I understand that, because women don't want to be put in them predicaments. Whereas though, if I'm solely dependent on this fool, then he can pretty much do any and everything he want to me. So in this situation, you know, when it comes to these pastors, man, walk away from the church. It's just that simple. If you ain't leading the flock, if you ain't leading the congregation right, walk away. Many of y'all, I'm telling y'all, majority of preachers, you maybe got out of 10 preachers, maybe 2 of them is decent. Maybe 2 of them. The other 8 is full of shit. Straight like that. The other 8 is full of shit. And y'all been full of shit for all these years. I'm going to take a few comments. Make sure y'all pull up on my main channel at 8:30. Make sure y'all pull up on my main channel at 8:30. The main channel is Shank Rock. Tonight's demonstration will be Mississippi. Mississippi has taken another innocent black man's life. The Tremaine White story. Now this brother drives trucks, and this brother was in Liberty, Mississippi, and he stopped to get his tire fixed. He left a nice tip allegedly, he threw a napkin on the grass. The police was called. They took him into custody. The gas station had to call his mom. They had to, get in touch with his mom to tell his mom, police just took your son from here. The mother didn't know nothing. The police never charged him with anything. When the mother went to see Tremaine, he was beaten badly. And he told his mom, Mom, you got to get me out of here because they going to kill me. And that's what ended up happening. He lost his life. So I need everybody to make sure y'all pull up on the main channel, Shank Rock, at 9:30. And I need everybody, because we all are in this and we all are pushing to make his story go viral. I searched. I only found one news station that actually covered it, but they only covered it for 2 minutes. So me, along with a host of other content creators, TikTokers, and, we just basically sharing his story, and we're asking everybody, whatever social media platform you're on, we're asking you to share the story to your social media platform. So I want to see everybody on the main channel at 9:30. It's 9:07. That's less than 30 minutes. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all on the main channel. Salute.